This is Maria Alberto's composite postcard, and I want to spend some time on this, on why this is working. First of all, I think this is a very successful piece, very successful project. And even if you don't like the aesthetic of this, there's still a lot of things design-wise that are working that I want to go over. First of all, this is a complex image. There's like a lot of type and a lot of different images. They're layered on top of each other, but they're all holding together. And I'm going to show you why these all hold together as this little presentation continues. First of all, just to address the aesthetics, again, you might not like this. You might look at it as this is too confusing. I don't want to deal with it. Okay, I guess that's a valid response. I mean, you're going to respond to this the way you're, in a truthful way, I guess. But it's interesting. She has a lot of Victorian imagery. There's a lot of interesting words buried in here if you look at it, like the word understanding. The word internet is stuck in there, which is, an interesting juxtaposition of all this Victorian image and the word internet. And she has some texture. It looks like a Persian rug or curtain from the Victorian era, and there's just like a lot of interesting layers going on here. So, but if you notice, why is this thing working? Well, one thing is, see these vertical light areas? Those vertical light areas are positioned in very, what I want to say, strategic locations. Okay, they're positioned very, very well. Let me repeat that. These vertical white areas are positioned very well, and let me show you. If you take this is a perfect square. Okay, so the left edge, if you can see my pointer here, the left edge of the perfect square is the same as this line here. So the left edge of the perfect square is where she positioned this vertical chunk. Okay, and there's another perfect square, and this edge of the perfect square is where she positioned this this white vertical here. And if we go back here, I want to stress that this is not three separate compositions. Okay, things are holding together. Because in this square, you have these horizontals and the texture, the type, holding the composition together. And if we go forward even more here, within here, there's this is another perfect square, and there's I just picked out this one, but there's a whole bunch of perfect squares within this composition that are interlocking together. So that's a very important thing. So let me repeat that. Here's what you got. Okay, you take a perfect square, another perfect square, interlock them together. Okay, and she's got this successful composition going on. So the point I want to make here, the canvas that you're working on has a geometry. Okay, and you can impose your own geometry on the canvas. Okay, it's you can use perfect squares, you can use the 1x3 rectangles, whatever. You can use things that are aligning together. But remember, whenever you're putting together a composition, it's in our 2D, we do two-dimensional work in general here. The canvas has a geometry inside it, and you can impose any geometry you want onto it. And if you impose a coherent, thought out, and logical geometry and interlock these things together, you're on your way to making a successful composition.